mysteries from all around the internet sent in by you all that are going to make us question everything. Thank you, Big, for the video.
Okay, here we go. We let it do its thing. It's still filtering out a little bit more water. We have enough water right there to see. Let's do it. Okay, we got our total dissolved solids meter. Oh my God, dude. Are you kidding me? 409, that's worse than the tap water to begin with. Let's do it. Ready?
Dang.
382. Wow, so this clearly filter water is literally worse than tap water. I don't know why. 409, nope, that ain't good. Now, check this out. We got the RO water. Let's test it. Boom. Let's see. 33 parts per million versus 400. This is clearly not filtered. This is clearly BS, scam. Instagram ads are tricking everybody. I know many families that have gotten this style of filter and they thought they were super okay. And I told them, no, it's not. I finally bought it myself. I used my own freaking money to buy this BS filter just to expose them, just to show y'all, honestly, what's going on. This is not okay. This is not okay.
Yeah,
tap water is not okay. It's filled with crap. It's filled with pesticides, birth control, you name it. Uranium, heavy metals. I can name like 30 freaking things right now. It's not okay. Dump this crap, spend $200, get a reverse osmosis system. It's gonna last you for a long time. Replacement filters are super cheap. Water, you need it in your life. Get good water.
Under 6 years of age, don't you want to teach your kids to brush their teeth? Keep out of the... You can't give them toothpaste, but you're told that they need the fluoride so that they get healthy teeth and no cavities, aren't you? If accidentally swallowed, mind you, kids don't have the capability yet of spitting out this toothpaste.
Right.
If it's accidental, but they flavor it like candy, they make it look like candy. Get medical help or contact the Poison Control Center right away. Did you know there was poison? They mark it, they tell you so. Most people don't read this. Even if you spit it out, the mouth and the mucous membrane in the mouth is highly absorptive, and you get this poison.
Let me get this straight. You're saying that the major beverage companies, food companies, all of them, are bribing the scientists, bribing the regulatory agencies to endorse their formulas, their ingredients for food, to say that they're good, say that they're okay.
Absolutely.
And in fact, those ingredients are meant to addict people to the foods that they're selling.
It's the express purpose. I was shocked as a junior employee to see a list of names of professors from Harvard, from Tufts Nutrition School, from Stanford. And as a junior employee working for the food companies as a consultant, I steered money to those schools. The food industry funds nutrition research in this country 11 times more than the NIH. You are loath to find a nutrition researcher who's not directly paid with a direct consulting agreements bribes, and their research is predominantly funded by the food industry. I can tell you from working for this industry that that's not out of a philanthropic goodwill for unbiased research. The food industry is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on nutrition research to enhance their bottom line. It's to normalize these addictive foods.
Paper cups aren't just made of paper, there's a plastic lining inside. And when you pour hot liquids or coffee inside, then this lining disrupts and dissolves, and 25 million microplastic particles, they will go inside the beverage and then inside your body, whereas new studies have found that they are in relation with heart attacks, with dementia, with Alzheimer's and infertility. Share this video with somebody that still uses paper cups and wake up, follow me for more.
When you bring your fruit home, even if it's organic, how you're washing
Oh yeah,
it.
even if it's organic. I actually recommend that you wash your fruits and your meats. So the way to wash fruits is put them in a bowl with filtered water, preferably as cold water as you can get it. You can even actually use ice. Put it in a glass bowl of cold water, filtered water, and then add about a quarter of a cup of vinegar, white rice vinegar, white wine vinegar, even apple cider vinegar. So a quarter cup of vinegar and about a tablespoon of baking soda. And you'll notice it will fizz up, and then just massage the fruit around in there a little bit. You only need to leave it in the bowl for 1 minute.
Okay.
You don't need to let it soak for 10 or 15 minutes. It will actually start to draw the color out of the fruit, and it will even draw the sweetness out of the fruit, which is not what you want. You want the pesticides, the herbicides that may be on the surface of the fruit to be drawn out, and then get all the bug parts and droppings and possible worms and things off of the fruit and any kind of dirt or debris that's on it. But it only takes 60 seconds to wash your fruit in cold water.
Does it taste vinegary afterwards?
Not at all. You don't taste it at all. So when you're done washing it, dump the bowl of fruit out and then rinse it with filtered water and then put it in the refrigerator in a covered glass pan.
A piece of corn grown in the middle of a 1 million acre corn farm that is growing row after row after row of a genetically modified food that doesn't have the nutrients or medicines that it was made to be. What is the purpose of that corn? It's gone. The corn knows it, I think. There's a decrease in energy field in that corn, and it's weakened, and we go and consume that. Our beef consume it. We consume the beef. The beef are nearly dead by the time we eat that cow. Chickens even more so. A third of the flock of the chickens by 6 weeks are already dead from invasive infection. And then we butcher the surviving animals at 6 weeks and call them boiler chickens, and we put them in a Chick-fil-A sandwich or whatever it is. And suddenly we've got this maelstrom of stress in what we think was just a bite of food. The plants that animal ate was stressed. The animal itself was on the verge of death when it was finally killed. And then we put that in our mouth and we wonder why an hour later we're having a panic attack.
I know he was talking about another direction, but he brought up corn and it instantly dropped like in my mind. How is it that we can eat corn, right? Chew it all the way to basically it's made to like be swallowed. But then when you use the restroom, the pieces are there as if you swallowed them whole. Have y'all thought about that? I know that was probably TMI, but for the corn lovers out there, have y'all noticed that? Thank you, Epic, for the videos.
So here is Nancy Pelosi admitting that the reptilians are losing, that they have lost, and in this coming election that they must win. Listen, because she speaks in code. Check this out.
Lose 30 or 40 seats. What? They didn't know what they were talking about. We know we're different from the presidential. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win.
Did you see the way that she looked around before she admitted it? And she also stated that they are different from the presidential thing.
We know we're different from the presidential. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win.
They have to win in order to try to rule the earth again. It's over for y'all.
Everything they teach you in school is a lie. You want the truth? The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people.
See, y'all, they know it's over. They're just trying to convince you guys to give them another term. Because of the high influx of energy that's being sent out by the sun, the coronal mass ejections, this is affecting their technology. And then at one point in time, there's going to be an event that literally puts us into darkness. Y'all see it in all these movies. And this is when we're going to see these people for who they really are. Remember that technology is the only thing that's cloaking them or saving them.
Ooh.
But once the grid goes down, y'all will really see who these people are. Let me know what you guys think about this video.
Average girl in America is hitting puberty, which is sexual maturity, 6 years earlier than they were in 1900. We have the earliest puberty rates of any continent in the world. It's age 10 and 10 to 13. And this is in large part thought to do because of we're literally giving children estrogen with all the plastics we're ingesting, which are xenoestrogens, meaning they are exogenous artificial estrogens, and the pesticides, which can activate the estrogen receptors like atrazine. I mean, you can put atrazine, which is a pesticide that we spray about 70 million pounds of in the U.S. every year. It's not legal in Europe, but it's sold to us from international countries.
It's not legal in Europe?
No, you cannot use it. And you put this on a developing male frog embryo, and it turns into a female frog. That's how much of an endocrine disrupting chemical that it is.
You heard how she said how that was banned in Europe? Why America accept stuff that be banned in other people's countries? See, other people's country care about their people. America don't care. America is looking at us, like I've been saying in the previous videos and the previous reactions. They look at us as consumers. They look at us as customers. But what I wanted to mention was people in the comment section were saying how we all owe an apology and how he had been saying this for years. Yeah, he's been saying this. And again, people been saying this stuff for years, but well, nobody listening like that back then. But it's okay. Everything happens for a reason and time reveals everything. I don't even know if I could say his name now that I'm thinking about it. If I blur out or I censor my mouth, I'll just put his name like here so that y'all will, y'all know. Future edit Perky, you know what to do.
In Department of Transportation, I know what's going on right now, any place in this county. Aviation, if they're up,
Whoever's working, I can click on their camera right now and I can watch their interaction.
Can I see it?
Live Google. This is a big, big deal. And
What do you mean live Google?
So I'm going to show you right now. I can tell you where everybody is, what they're doing, and then I can also bring up, you know, any intersection I want in the county.
Okay.
Right now.
So you're bringing up live CCTV cameras right now?
Bringing up live cameras.
Wow. You have eyes and ears everywhere.
Everywhere. But I can go to any intersection and pull it up right now. So if there's a crash, if someone says we're in a pursuit, whatever it might be, it shows me right now. Plus, it shows me every single person working. The stars are where my deputies are. It tells me what they're doing, what they're on, what calls for service. It's important for me to have my finger on the pulse constantly.
Is a traffic stop right here?
So this is Deputy Austin, and right now I can see his body-worn camera. So it's as if we're on scene. We got this county locked down.
He said, quote unquote, we have this county locked down. They have 300 plus cameras, but can't solve any murders. And then the murder rates have been astronomically high. So do the cameras work until they don't work? I think that's what my question is. Thank you, Earthy, for the next couple of videos.
This video of Usher is going viral online at
Usher.
one of his performances.
That's funny.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but let me know what you guys think.
Ain't no way.
Of Usher is
Hold
going
on.
viral online at one of his performances, and I'm not sure what's going on here, but let me know what you guys think.
Ain't no way. That can't be him. Everybody in the comment section talking about this Temu Usher. They're saying that this is what happens when you buy tickets off of Temu. This is crazy. I don't know if this is really him or if this was somebody that was playing like him. I have no idea. I would have, yeah. They said that's Usher from Wish. They said it's great value Usher here today. You know what? If you're ever down, just go on the internet. The internet will flip that depression into happiness in 2.5 seconds. Why he sound like that? Usher. Why does Usher sound like
Have you heard of the curse of the Joker? Every actor who has played the role of the
I know you're
Joker
going.
has had this role haunt them after filming. First, we're gonna talk about Jack Nicholson. He mentioned in an interview that ever since his childhood, he had always felt like a connection to the Joker, like the Joker was almost seeking him out. He said that he knew he would become the Joker one day. Jack Nicholson had already done The Shining, so he had experience with playing these like psychologically tortured types of characters and like really intense characters. And when Jack Nicholson found out that Heath Ledger would then be playing the live action Joker in those newer movies, he said that he was furious. Kind of like he believed he was the Joker. So he played the role right before Heath Ledger. And when Heath Ledger tragically passed away, Jack said, "I warned him." And a lot of people say that that is about the Joker. That video is like what started the entire theory about maybe there's a curse. Like once you play the Joker will always be a part of you. You can head over right here if you want to see a whole deep dive on the curse and all the other people that were affected and the theory.
I know she called it a curse, but I call it people dealing with ruachs. Actors, they will study, they will do everything that they have to do to fulfill a role, but it's more to it than just a role and just acting. You're really tapping into something. And it's to the point where these people are having to kind of have sessions to get back to their original state. Does that make sense on what I'm saying? There's people that have played roles so well that they had to go to therapy just to get back to who they truly were. So, like I said, I believe it's more to acting than just saying, oh, yeah, I fulfilled a role. No, you're fulfilling a whole ruach behind that role. Thank you, Des, for the next couple of videos.
Do you see the clip of her talking about how dare we wish Merry Christmas to people? No.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone. In 2016, a Samsung phone started overheating in a man's pocket and ended up actually exploding, causing second-degree burns on the man's leg. And this happened because the battery's casing was made too small on this particular model. It caused the electrodes inside to bend and make contact with each other. This led to a short circuit, which eventually made the battery overheat. And this created a cycle of chemical reactions that continually generated more and more heat until the phone eventually exploded.
Oh, 4D printed steak from Temu. I joke about the Temu part, but this is vegan from Redefined Meat. Look at the logo. Why is the cow upside down? I'm gonna open this, taste it, smell it, cook it. Look at the fillets. It's actually 4D meat juice. You know what? Let me taste it. Am I supposed to be tasting this?
I don't know.
This is crazy. Honestly, this smells of cardboard. How does this cook? Look at the intermuscular fat. Look at the protein. I'm following the instructions to a T. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Medium heat, 3 minutes on each side. Actually looks like steak. For best results, slice with grain. Medium rare. It feels like I'm cutting into something meaty though. It still smells like cardboard. Look at the cross section. It's now time for the moment of faults. I'm just gonna try it. Oh my god. Texture. Actually spot on. Feels like meat in the mouth. Even chews like meat. There's a toughness to it. This is actually £8. It's not bad. 10. I thought this would be so much worse than it actually.
At this point, just eat the real thing. It's okay, babe. Don't even look. Just eat the real thing.
Your clothes are either healing you or harming you. It's no secret that your polyester sports bras, leggings, athletic shirts, shorts, and underwear contain BPAs, PFAs, phthalates, and other toxic chemicals. These clothes have been linked to thyroid disease, respiratory issues, inflammation, and other health issues. Oh, and guys, they can also reduce your sperm count and also cause infertility. But don't worry, your clothes can also heal you. Literature dates back as far as the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, in which it stated that you should not wear wool and linen at the same time. A Jewish doctor named Hadi Yellen was intrigued by this scripture and did an experiment on the frequency of fabrics back in 2003. First, note that a healthy human body has a frequency ranging from 70 to 100 megahertz, whereas a diseased or nearly dead person has a frequency of just 15 megahertz. Dr. Yellen concluded that if the frequency of your clothes was lower than 100, it puts strain on your body, and if it's over 100, it's beneficial. She found that silk, nylon, spandex, rayon, and polyester all had frequencies of 15 or lower, thus compromising your immune system. Organic cotton is very similar to the frequency of a healthy human, ranging from 70 to 100 megahertz and upwards of 400 depending on the quality. The best fabrics to wear or sleep in are wool and linen, and not included in this list is hemp, which all have frequencies ranging as high as 5,000 megahertz. This explains why ancient Egyptians wrapped mummies in linen and why hospitals used to use linen in their beds. But what about the scripture reading that states you shouldn't wear wool and linen at the same time? Dr. Yellen found that if you wear the two together, they actually cancel each other out and the frequency drops to 0. If you want to better understand where all of these toxins are found in our lives, I created a free PDF explaining where they're found and what to use instead. If you want it, just comment the word apparel and I'll give you access.
Isn't it crazy how your famous sports brands, like what you used to work out in, is made from the chemicals that will harm you? When you see it, you can't unsee it. When you look at how brands, they just think business and what's going to sell, no matter if it harms you or not, they don't care. They're just looking for this. But yeah, it's very interesting that Lululemon, you have Gymshark, I'm just naming random companies, Under Armour, all these companies that are known to make like working out clothes are all made in the fabrics that you shouldn't wear.
Where are the new candies?
What do you mean?
Why have I been eating the same candy for 3 decades? Explain to me why I've been trick-or-treating my whole life and I'm always getting the same candies. Snickers, Twix, Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Starburst. It's the same candies every year since I was born. There's no new candies. Think about what I'm telling you. As long as you've been alive, it's been the same candies. We've got new cereals. We've got new animals.
Nah, not new animal.
But we're getting the same candy. And all this stuff is artificially made. So nobody could have artificially made some new stuff?
You do it.
Why we keep getting the same candies? And why is it that for me to get a knockoff version of Skittles, I gotta go on Etsy and find some white lady named Elizabeth who making them in the middle of Montana talking about I make knockoff Skittles and they're more healthy? Something is not right. It's hard to find knockoff Skittles and knockoff Starbursts. There's no new candies.
You kind of got a
Where are
point.
the new candies? Where are the new candies? Where are the new candies? Why isn't there any new candies? I've been here for 3 decades and it's been the same candies every year.
We don't need the candy, so it's okay. Thank you, JD, for the video. Toothpaste. Mm-hmm. What are we looking at? Because this is definitely photoshopped. So, like, did they have to get jumped in a gang or something? Jumped in to join this association? I don't. These photos look photoshopped to me. Thank you, Icy, for the videos.
Apparently, Bigfoot is starting to come into people's houses in the Smoky Mountains. Now, this story is circulating on TikTok, and one of my followers actually submitted it and shared it with me, and you have to hear this one. This happened between Gatlinburg and Cherokee, North Carolina, on a farm that this family had recently purchased within the last few months. So this lady said she first noticed in the barn area one day while she was out in the barn a set of huge footprints leading from the barn like back into the forest and vice versa. She had no explanation what these things were. They were too big to be a human, but she just thought a big bear. It had to be a big bear. Fast forward a few days or weeks, I'm not sure. One day she and her daughter are home alone and they're up in the attic just doing some work. So as they're just doing some work upstairs in the attic, they both hear very heavy footsteps enter the house.
No.
Too heavy to be a human, and she immediately thinks this bear has gotten into her house. So she instinctively tells her daughter just to be very quiet, do not make a noise. You know, we're in a bad spot here. If this bear, comes up the steps, we could be in bad trouble. So as the attic door is still open, like to the downstairs, they both start kind of peeking around trying to see downstairs because they can hear these footsteps. But to her surprise, it isn't a bear that walks into view. It's a ginormous Bigfoot. She said this thing was covered in reddish brown hair from head to toe. It was built like a man, a huge man, but it was a Bigfoot. Now, if that wasn't crazy enough, just after this huge Bigfoot stepped into their vision, field of sight, she said one that was about 4 feet tall, a smaller one, walked in also. And at this point, they are going into panic mode. She's trying to tell her daughter just to be quiet. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. And they both are witnessing these two Bigfoots walk through their house. And they're just kind of growling and grunting, making noises, walking around. After a few minutes, she said the biggest one walked back like toward the door like it was going to exit. Then right behind, the smaller one coming back, but it just happened to stop like right in their field of view. At this point, both she and her daughter were looking down at this thing, and the little one stopped, and she was just terrified that this thing was going to look up and see them looking back. But she said it stood there for a few moments just looking around, but it never did make eye contact with them, and eventually it made its way out of the house too. They waited about 30 minutes or so. Then she and her daughter, they just made a run for it. They didn't hear any other noises. She grabbed her car keys, they ran to the car, and they got out of there. She wasn't a believer in Bigfoot, at least not until this happened. And the guy who I heard this from said that she had took pictures. There was like muddy footprints on the porch, and she hadn't shared them with him yet. But she supposedly does have pictures of that. This is the first case I've heard of a Bigfoot going into a person's house. If you ever heard of anything like this, let me know in the comments. She said they'd only been there a few months and had no reason to have trail cameras up, but they would probably put them up now. Who wouldn't? If you have any stories like this, any Bigfoot, Dogman, Mothman, ghost stories, my email's listed in my bio. I'd love to hear it. You guys have a great day. God bless.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality, and at the same time, appalling acts of brutality, genocide, race baiting, famine, starvation.
Thank you, Mike, for the video.
Work and strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with. Oh, mother.
What did he say?
I must speak with you, all of you.
Much money is lost through sending gold by coach from one country to another. In times of war, it is seized by the enemy. In times of peace, by thieves. You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe. You must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds.
Wow.
Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family, the Rothschilds, who work always together.
It's 2 things I want to say. It's a quote that says, give a man a gun and he can rob a bank. Give a man a bank and he can rob the world. The second thing I want to say is that the Rothschilds took the banks and the Rockefellers were the ones who took education. This the family that run and controls the entire world. Thank you, Earthy, for the video. He thought he ate.
Just found out some really creepy stuff about Chris Brown's stalker, and even he is scared for his life. This is her at a Chris Brown meet and greet. He had no idea of what she was doing at the time, but pay attention to how she is dressed in all red, even her hair, because there's a conspiracy about this woman that's just gonna send chills down your spine. This is no ordinary stalker. She was sending death threats to Chris Brown and his dancers.
Okay, what I gotta do, if I gotta join a gang, if I gotta do some mob, I don't care. Where can I legally kill?
She also found a way onto his neighbor's property. I think she said she was gonna tour the house to buy it or something, just so she can get pictures and videos of his house. She finally makes it to the backyard, and then you can see her saying this is a nice view, and his house is right there.
We move him.
And then she gonna play.
And the view is nice.
Now back to the conspiracies. People are saying this might be some type of demonic possession because one, she's dressed in all red, and in this video I'm about to show you, she says that she keeps sending him Bibles and books that has to do with God, and she keeps calling herself an angel.
He got a lot of Bible things from me. I sent him this, I sent him a Bible. This is all throughout from 2021.
Like, it's not nobody noticing that everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But then he said she was perfect. And he's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up. How is that the only man in her life that had regrets about their relationship, but everybody else ran for the hills?
All right.
So we all know who Shaquille O'Neal is, and a lot of people don't know, but he's actually a DJ. He goes by DJ Shaq Diesel, and he's been doing this for a while, but he recently had his first 360 show that sold out in LA, and the visuals that were on the screen of this performance were very dark. Now, before I show you these demonic visuals, listen to this. So if you've been following me for quite some time, you know that if I see anything demonic or satanic, especially in concerts, I'll always post a video about it. And about 5-6 months ago, whenever this comment was, there was a show where it looked like someone was getting possessed, something you see straight out of a horror film, so I made a video on it. It went pretty viral, and Shaquille O'Neal, DJ Shaq Diesel, saw this and he commented on it. And what he said was very interesting, right? You can make a conspiracy out of this. He said, "They even got me, man. Save me. Someone please." And now, just a few days ago, he does this LA concert, and wow. I'll tell you what, this visual is the last thing that I would expect from an ex-NBA player. A robot or some type of AI person thing being crucified on a cross with chains holding them to the cross. I mean, this is wild. I mean, you got all the lights flashing in your head and you have this message being ingrained with hard style dubstep and EDM. I mean, sheesh. Next, you have a skeleton with Baphomet horns holding a fireball. Okay, I know I said it already, but you have to realize this guy plays really hardstyle music, so it kind of is moving with the beat of the lasers.
As in Shaq?
I mean, the energy in this crowd is wild. I thought this visual was the creepiest one, and the reason I found out about this concert is because someone posted this on TikTok and said, when you go to an ex-NBA player show but end up going to a satanic ritual instead, something like that. And this is a woman doing weird hand motions, looks like she's praying over the crowd with horns and red eyes and a hooded gown. I mean, for some reason, this has to have some type of symbolism, right? I mean, I think you kind of get the idea now. It's just continuous demonic visuals. Not every single one was demonic, but I'm just showing you the ones that are, and there are a lot that I didn't post, but there's no need to just go through all of them. Here's something that a lot of people don't know about Shaq is that he is a open and very proud Freemason, and he always wears his ring, and a lot of the times on live television, he'll actually show it off. Watch this clip.
What is going on there? That's a ring of my profession. You don't know nothing about that. Okay, well, can we get a close-up on that area? What? You don't know nothing about
What
it.
is the profession?
Yeah, which profession are we talking about? Just look at it.
Is it a legal profession?
Of course it's legal. It's a ring of my profession. I'm trying to read it.
Okay.
There's too many diamonds.
Yeah, that's too bright. That's too bright.
Go ahead anyway.
Oh, Mason, are you a Mason?
Of course I am. Okay. You have a secret ceremony.
You might as well put your pinky out when you drink your drink. Put your pinky out.
Are you involved in the secret ceremonies with the candles and the... Everyone wears... Anyway, the Clippers. The Clippers.
Very, very interesting. Now, I'm not saying the two are correlated, but I think interesting is the perfect way to describe that whole clip. I mean, he shows a massive ring, and once they start talking about it towards the end, he's like, anyway, the Clippers and Rockets, trying to get off subject. But, I mean, after reading the comment he left on my video saying, oh, they got me, someone please save me. Could be the truth in plain sight, man. I know everyone's like, oh, bro, he's trolling, and that's how concerts are nowadays, but unfortunately, that's the damage all of this has done. We all think everyone is just trolling and that all of this is just the new norm, when, to be honest with you, it's really not. This is coming from someone who would always go to concerts like this, and I know that's how hardstyle EDM is, where there's a lot of visuals like that, but I'll tell you what, with that music, you can make a lot cooler visuals that are not demonic and that don't suck your energy and, you know, make everyone do these mosh pits that just... I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's my 2 cents on it. Wild stuff going on nowadays.
Oh, you thought Diddy was bad? Well, he is. But you want to meet someone who's arguably worse? Vince McMahon. See, Vince McMahon. He's currently under federal investigation for misconduct with many women. For those of you that don't know, Vince McMahon is the former owner of the WWE wrestling stuff. Anyway, you want to hear something wild? Wrestling fans have always known he was an evil psychopath. Why? Because listen closely. He played a character in his own wrestling show so twisted and insane,
he really
it became
did.
harder and harder for people to think he's acting. For instance, the storyline that involved his daughter. Whatever you think I'm about to say, it's worse. His daughter's a character on the show as well. She plays his daughter. In fact, his whole family plays themselves. They go through many inappropriate things, like at one point, her daughter and her son start palming her mom in front of millions of people, but I think the son just held the mom so she couldn't run away. And anyway, here's where things start to get wicked. wicked. In a wrestling promo video, his daughter says, "I've only said no to my father for 2 things. And one of them was he could not be the father of my child in the show." Focus, we not finished. Look at the time. She was married to a wrestler named Triple H in real life. They were having a kid. After they told her dad, Vince McMahon, "No, we're not participating in that story," Vince McMahon then asked, "What if it's your brother?" Her brother and her husband said, "No, Vince." Well, actually, her brother said, "Yeah, I get it. My sister's hot, but I had to turn her down." He actually said this. But he might have said this because, remember, I told you, this is for a wrestling promo. Meaning Vince McMahon put this on air. He put this on television. He wasn't hiding this. So imagine all the worst things he's done. In fact, you don't have to imagine it. Look in my comments and the wrestling fans will let you know. Anyway, now that you understand who he is as a person, the allegations are probably not that surprising anymore, right? Well, let's get wicked part 2. The allegations go on for decades. In fact, it's alleged that he's given $20 million total to women over the years. From allegedly forcing people, cover-ups, lip boxing his female wrestlers backstage. If they said no, he would fire them. To the case
he's
that brought this to
reckless.
everyone's attention in the first place. The traffic. Making someone do things with him and then all of his friends. It's the same thing Diddy's getting in trouble for. It's like the only thing a billionaire will actually get hunted down for. Because the feds don't play that. There's certain lines that can't be crossed. Imagine if you found out anyone in America owned a slave. You'd lose your mind. Well, making someone do this like you own them is considered to be a form of slavery. The case alleges that he gives this woman a job. He tells her, "If you don't with me, you finna lose that job." Eventually she does, thinking it's gonna be a one-time thing. But then she notices that her position is a fake position. He just makes it up to keep her in the office whenever he wants to. Now, for those of you saying, "Oh, she could have just left," wisdom is chasing you, but you are faster. And I'm not gonna sit here and explain the human mind to you. Anyway, at this point he says, "Hey, you gotta start with all my other friends." She says, "No." And well, you know he didn't take that for an answer. She eventually does it. He gives her $3 million to stay quiet. But so many other women come out at the same time, and he has to give all of them so much money that his payments start to slow down. So the girls are like, "We're snitching." The FBI comes out and says, "Wait, don't snitch yet." And that's how you know he is screwed. The FBI basically said, if you take his money, then you can't talk to us. And if you talk to us, he finito, word to Chief Keef. The women said, "Fine." And the FBI said, Vince said, "Why y'all laughing?" They said, "Vince, give us your phone." He said, "No, I'm an American citizen. Y'all can." They said, "We can do whatever we want." Because here's how things work. Same thing that happened to Diddy. The FBI watches you for years until they know you're so guilty that you will never escape. And when the evidence against you is so bad, they can get these things called subpoenas, meaning they could raid your house, take your phone, require you to give them documents. So Vince is forced to give them his phone, and some of the alleged texts got leaked, and oh, that boy going to jail. But the case is still technically ongoing, and it probably will be for a while. But let's just say I don't think he's getting out of this one.
Thank you, Eric, for the videos. Why would she do that?
It's believed that this woman was collecting her blood for a voodoo ritual. If people collect your blood, they can use it to possess you or make voodoo dolls of you that will hurt you. So stay safe out there. That's very scary.
That's scary. Somebody said, "I don't see the problem." Thank you, Des, for the next couple of videos. Where's he going with this? Let's see. What the heck? It was a person that then turned to a bird. That's a person again. Turn this off. What is this? Now he a rocket ship. Y'all was bored because ain't no way.
A lot of people asking why we don't use real glass in movies and TV. Well, in most cases we do. If it needs to hit somebody and not break, or crash out of frame, we'll use silicone, rubber, glass, or plastic. And we'll save a lot of money that way. We'll use plastic and rubber, but if we have to see it break, we'll use breakaway resin. Then we hand it over to the sound designers and Foley artists who make this sound like this. Sorry if I shattered the illusion.
Kamala Harris struggles to attach herself to the black community, and she gives it her best attempt in this skit.
Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
No, they not.
You know I'm out here in these streets. Where? What streets are you out on, Kamala Harris? Please explain that to me. In order to code switch, you have to know the code. You can't just throw out slang and try to put on this black accent for people so that they feel connected to you. And you can feel that that's what Kamala Harris is doing in this video, and it just doesn't work for me.
If you want to be happy in your life, do everything with a good heart and expect nothing in return.
That's a word.
And you will never be disappointed in your life.
Yeah.
You know which animal has the longest lifespan in the world?
Actually,
the
don't.
lifespan of a butterfly ranges from 1 week to 12 months. A cicada lives for 2 to 17 years.
They need to die.
A mouse lives for 1 to 3 years. A kangaroo lives for 8 to 12 years, up to 20 years in captivity. A dog lives for 10 to 13 years.
Yeah.
A cat lives for 12 to 18 years. A snake lives for 9 to 20 years. A deer lives for 10 to 20 years. A penguin lives for 15 to 20 years. A giant panda lives for 15 to 20 years, up to 30 years in captivity. A giraffe lives for 20 to 25 years.
That's pretty long.
A polar bear lives for 20 to 30 years. A cow lives for 18 to 22 years. A gorilla lives for 35 to 40 years, up to 50 years in captivity. A koi fish lives for 25 to 35 years. In rare cases, they can live over 200 years. A lobster lives for 40 to 70 years. A parrot lives for 50 to 80 years. An elephant lives for 60 to 70 years. A human lives for 70 to 100 years. A turtle lives for 80 to 150 years. A bowhead whale lives for over 200 years. And the Greenland shark, known to be the longest living vertebrate, can live for 250 to 500 years.
So something stood out. So what's crazy is that a lot of them live longer in captivity, but humans live less in captivity. Does that make sense? So it's funny how like the roles flipped. I don't know, that it just was interesting to me.
Trauma to the child. Why? It's so horrible. What a bad story. Why do you need to start a story with a parent dying? Always. It's so sad.
Under MK Ultra, they experimented on children. We were even taught this in psychophysiology program that if you get to a child between ages 1 and 6 or 1 or 8, especially with sexual abuse or sexual trauma, you will split their personality and they will be imprinted the rest of their life. And many times that results in split personalities and dissociative behavior.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for cleaning the gutters.
Anything for you, hon.
Cleaning the gutters. Yeah, I'm realigning the satellite dish.
It's a good one.
Hey, it's fixing a leak in the roof.
Even better.
No, I'm really fixing a leak.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh.
What do you see, BB?
I see a streak of light.
Yes. And I'm swinging a light bulb, and yet you see a streak. This is based on a phenomenon known as the persistence of vision and is the basis for movies, including home movies, which you and I are going to make. Okay, would you turn on the light? Okay. Now, you saw a streak of light, right? Yeah. That's because the energy from the light was going into your eye and then finally going to your brain. And it lasts on the back of your eye and in the whole pathway up to your brain for about 1/10 of a second. In the same way, when I hold up this little sign, well, the light from that's also going into your eye and being registered up on your brain. And that whole process takes about 1/10 of a second. Same way as the light bulb. Now, if I turn this over on this side, well, the light from the light bulb or the light that's reflected from here is going into your eye and being registered on your brain. It takes about 1/10 of a second. Now, remember when I was swinging the light bulb, you saw a streak? Watch what happens when I spin this.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
what do you
that's
see?
cool.
It's the Wizard's World.
Now, why?
I don't know.
Well, if it takes each of those images about 1/10 of a second to be registered on your brain, what happens if I spin it faster than 1/10 of a second? You'll see both of them.
This is testing the effects of chemicals like atrazine, a common herbicide.
Female, we affectionately refer to as Darnell. He's a genetic male.
They get a frog a name? Darnell? Why Darnell? See, y'all trying to be funny. No, but I know we reacted to this, I think, in the last reaction, the previous reaction, but I just want you to remember that if it's doing this to frogs, what do you think it's doing to our hormones? Every time we're consuming food that is contaminated with pesticides. She crying for the balloon? Okay. This man was toothpaste? I don't even understand what I just watched. How does that even relate to toothpaste? I'm so... That felt racist. Look. Somebody gotta explain that to me. The context, because that didn't make no sense. I have never seen nothing like that in my life.
Ataylar dalaga keldik. Buni ham ishini ko'ramiz. Ko'p sizlarni vaqtinglarni olmasdan. Mashallah. Usti sariq edi, ichi ham sariq. Buni usti sariq, ichi qizil. To'g'risi o'zim Koreyada bir necha yil oldin ko'rganman seleksiya bo'layotganini. Yeb ham ko'rganim yo'q. Birinchi marta hozir mana daladan hozir o'zim ko'rdinglar o'zinglar. Qani bismillah.
Very best salespeople are the ones who form the very best relationships with their customers. At the Harvard Business School, they came to this conclusion a few years ago that in the 21st century, all selling would be relationship selling. So how do you build a high-quality relationship with other people? The rule is that listening builds trust. The second part of listening is to pause before replying. So when they finish speaking, pause and let them think. If you respond immediately after a person has finished speaking, what are you actually saying? Is I don't care about anything you said. I was just waiting for a chance for me to speak. But when you pause, you tell the person that what you said is very important and I'm thinking about it before I respond.
Your body knows how to repair everything.
Absolutely.
If your bones are weak,
diseases are curable. I just wanted to reiterate that. There's no such thing as an incurable disease. Because last time I checked, what's impossible to man is possible with Alua. So it's possible. There is no such thing. That's what the world will run and tell you. But when you have an Alua who is creation over everything, everything's curable. You have to just really believe that.
The paradox of death is both beautiful and terrifying. It compels us to question the very essence of our daily lives. Does the knowledge that everything we do, eating, going out with friends, spending time with family, working, do all these things gain meaning because it will all eventually end? Or does the inevitability of our end make all these activities even more meaningless? Albert Camus once remarked, "There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is self-destruction." For Camus, the awareness of death might render our actions meaningless, yet it also challenges us to create our own meaning in the face of life's absurdity. Conversely, Viktor Frankl observed, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Frankl's words suggest that the very knowledge of our mortality can inspire us to live with purpose, finding meaning in even the most fleeting moments. So does death ultimately make our lives meaningful or meaningless?
The Wall of Benin, like one of the world's largest structures, but I've never known about it. And it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles. And it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897 when they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
Dang.
It's 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying. Even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
They started in 800 AD and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man-hours to build.
Very little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
Thank you, JD, for the video.
I've been told that sunlight will give us. You say that's absolutely not true.
No, there is no proof to that effect. In fact, it's the opposite. That lack of sunshine causes skin cancer. You may know that many people have skin in areas that are never even exposed to the sun.
That's true.
And so it's not the sun. The UVB is now taken off the hook. It's no longer the culprit. There's a brand new study that just came out and showed that UVB doesn't cause the UVA. Now, when you use sunscreens, and there are many sunscreens that just block out UVB, so you don't tan, you basically you don't burn, so that you don't burn your skin. Skin burning is not a good idea. In any case, you don't want to burn your skin. So typically, if your body is in the sun too long, it will start burning. You would want to get out of it. Whereas if you put suntan lotion on, you don't get that signal, and you allow a lot of penetration of UVA. Now there are some of these other screens that are blocking out both UVA and UVB, and you think, oh, now I'm safe.
Right.
Yes, but you are becoming vitamin D deficient by being in the sun.
And if you are vitamin D
deficient, your risk goes right up.
Okay.
So again, any kind of so you need your vitamin D in order to be cancer-free.
Gotta read this because it really hit home. It says, do you really think the Most High created this beautiful, glorious light to support his creation only for it to give us disease and the C word? What gives you the C word is really lifestyle and your dietary choices. It's not a punishment from the sun. Because really think about that. If Yahuwah, like everything that he makes, has a function and a purpose, and it's for like the better, why would he make the sun for it to cause harm to his creation? That don't make sense, right? That's what I said in the last reaction. I said, whatever they tell us is bad, just know it's good. And whatever they're pushing out that's good in their eyes, just know it's bad. That has been like, what's good is bad and what's bad is good. That has been the motto for these videos the past couple of reactions I've been doing. Thank you, Hector, for the video.
There was a movie called Omicron,
in 1963.
Really?
Yeah, it was about a human that went into an alien's body, and he disguised as a human just to find out stuff about people.
Whoa.
And that's when so his people can come on Earth.
Whoa.
So that's why
real?
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, what the f is happening?
That sounds like
is that what's gonna happen now?
That's crazy. You know, Omicron. It was the name of like it was an alien in Futurama.
Futurama. Yeah, it's like Omicron Phileas 8.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And that was about aliens too, so.
Alright, I'm gonna blow your mind right now. I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Listen, in Antarctica, there's islands named after every single variant. There's a Delta Island, there's an Omicron Island, and there's a Corona one.
No shot.
Yeah, there's islands in Antarctica named
Get
after.
out
so
of
they're just
here.
melting it and then boom, next one.
No, there's islands like named after it, as in like they have it. It's connected.
What the?
Why is that connected? Why is that connected, bro?
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Yo.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Squid Game?
Delta variant, triangle, Delta.
Oh,
circle, Omicron.
Thank you, JD, for the next couple of videos.
You watched The Hunger Games and sided with the Resistance. You watched Star Wars and sided with the Resistance.
Ain't nobody watching no Star Wars.
You watched The Matrix and sided with the Resistance. You watched Divergent and sided with the Resistance. You watched V for Vendetta
I still haven't
and
seen that.
sided with the Resistance. When it's fiction, you understand. Yet you refuse to see it when it's the reality you're living in. Wow.
The truth. The truth is this. A bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and period. The industry's obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not dying because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours, and they're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you. A lot of you are good people, you're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, you know, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop.
I promise y'all I was gonna react to more. I'll just go ahead and end it there because I think he hit that one out the park. Just hearing, even though I know it's like repetitive, but it's a message in repetitiveness. And just seeing what the music industry is doing, because again, there's still people that really feel that they can listen to whatever they want, however they want, and that it's not doing nothing to them. When in reality, you hear that there's people that are making these songs and using these specific artists to push out this negative agenda so that the people listening to it can basically be formed and molded into what is being rapped and sung about in these songs, because it's programming at the end of the day. Let me tell you how real this is. I'm gonna give y'all a real story that happened that me and my sister seen. So we were riding bikes around the neighborhood, right? Basically, long story short, people got like golf carts or whatever the case is to get kind of to and from if they don't want to use their cars. And when we were riding, it was these children, because they be letting their children operate in the golf carts. It would never be me, but you get what I'm saying. They be driving the little carts. Cool, whatever. They had the music blasting. So me and my sister was like, what they listening to? They had on Sexy Red. Like when I tell you on full blast, I was so ashamed. They was just singing her song and just was, and it was the, what song was that? Oh, Shake That for Drake. Shake That for Me. I shouldn't even know that, but I know it because I just remember it so vividly when they were playing it. When I tell you these children had to have been in middle school, you see how they're influenced by Sexy Red that's singing stuff like this? Oh, it's so much. Y'all know where I'm going with it, but you got to be careful. Because again, children don't go off of what you say, they go off of what you do. So you saying, yeah, you can't be doing this, but then you're doing it, they're going to go off of what you do. So just kind of protect your children's ear gates and their eye gates early while you can, because I've said it before, if you don't control your children and teach them, you know, train a child up in the way that he should go so he never depart, the world's going to do it. Somebody gonna get to that child. So if it's not you, it's going to be the world. And we don't want the world teaching and raising our children. You've seen in the video with the frogs, the stuff that they're doing. The list goes on and on. Y'all get it. I'm done. That was Yahuwah. So all praise to Yahuwah and Yahusha for that. The music is very important. What they watch is very important. What they're, you know, filling their time with, like what are they doing day to day? All that stuff is important. It all matters. And again, you still have people, but I get it. I was blinded too. So I can't be mad. But then it's like when you're awake, you look at life different. And you be wanting everybody to be awake with you. But at one point I was asleep. So, you know, in Yahuwah's time and Yahuwah's plan and Yahuwah's will, I be praying for those that are asleep to be woken up to this, because living in that darkness, boy, let me tell you, you're not going to get nowhere in life. Man, oh man, the flesh will do anything and everything to get you to sin and won't be there with you when you die. That is a quote to Selah on. But I loved and appreciated everyone that has sent in videos. I have been kind of told that people like their shout outs before the video. And I understand. Y'all want the world to know that, hey, I sent this video. If this video the popping one, it's because I sent it, meaning y'all. So I get it. Or if, you know, maybe later on I might switch it up where I do the shout outs at the end. I'm still kind of debating, still trying to play around with it, but we'll see. Just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support. I want to thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys show continually, whether that be liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, reposting, following, hey, all aspects. Copping the merch, shopperkyy.com. I don't think I said that in the last video, but the link is in the description. It also pops up on the screen as well. Y'all make sure to keep buying and supporting the merch. I truly appreciate it. Yahuwah is giving me more like gems and stuff because I don't move unless he like tells me to. So it's going to be more shirts and hoodies and sweatpants, all the vibes, hats. It's coming soon. So make sure y'all buy the merch and tag me so I can feature you on the website so I can give you a shout out. I want to give all esteem, all glory, all praises, all honor to my Saba Yahuwah Lua and my Abba, my Adoni, Yahusha Hamashiach, for blessing me with everything as a whole. Sorry if I made noise. I hit my mic. I'm just a vessel that they work in and through, so I have to give credit and honor where it is due. But that is it for tonight. Try to make this video as lengthy as possible. I know I pray it's an hour. I pray it's because I've been reacting and trying to do long form for y'all because y'all love the long form. Y'all don't want short videos. I understand. So I hope this one made an hour. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul.